Welcome back to the pod, guys. Delighted today we've got Jordan Cousins with us. Jordan played for some top teams. And correct me if I'm wrong, Jordan, you're still captain of Eastleigh?
Yeah, yeah.
How are you, mate?
I'm good. Very well, thanks. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for coming on. I think it's going to be interesting just to touch base. We had a conversation before. You're South East London boy. Grew up at Charlton. It'd be great just to start like there. How did you get into Charlton? Was you like scouted in the local area? How did it work?
How did I start at Charlton? So I played for a team called Woolwich Youth. They were based in the army barracks in Woolwich, and I probably got scouted the unconventional way. Let me say. So my dad was he really wanted me to be in an academy. So he was calling around all the local academies, and I had a cousin who played for Arsenal at the time. So of course he called Arsenal Academy, and I had a 2-week trial at Arsenal's academy, and then this was maybe the October. So I had a 2-week trial at Arsenal, and they told me to come back in the summer. But then my dad was still calling about, and called Charlton, and obviously he had told them that I had just been at a 2-week trial at Arsenal, and they said for me to come back in the summer. So Charlton were like, these times Charlton were maybe in the Championship League One,
Yeah.
Arsenal obviously in the Premier League. So Charlton was thinking, okay, let's give him a kind of a go. So they did. They gave me a 6-week trial, and they decided to sign me on the end of the 6-week trial. But it worked great because Charlton was more local to me. It was 5 minutes. I'm a Greenwich boy. It was local to me, and like I said, my both parents worked and stuff. So it just made a lot more sense. And obviously, if I was to sign at Arsenal, it would have been a very big commitment for my parents. So yeah, it worked out well.
Wow. So your dad is the one that really got you into Charlton and started your career. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah. It wasn't like a scouting journey. It was a
A phone
get the
call.
number, email addresses, and I think he contacted. I think Steve Gritt was the academy manager at the time, and they said come down for a 6-week trial, and like I said, it was a very different. It's very different going from Sunday league football to academy football. There was a bit of an adjustment period. I didn't even own AstroTurf boots at the time. I only owned studs. Yeah, I was that raw at the time. So
Yeah.
but I picked things up quite quickly, and like I said, I was grateful enough to get signed at the end of the 6 weeks.
So how old were you there when you first signed
I
for
was
Charlton?
12. I was 12, which I always say was a blessing because I wasn't in the academy system you can be in there from 6, 7, 8 nowadays.
Yeah.
So I got the time to enjoy the football with my friends and, you know what I mean, go and have summer tournaments and be very free. And then when I signed at Charlton, I knew it got serious very quickly because it was like 13s, 14s, 15s. By 15, I was playing for England and stuff like that. So it kind of like got very, very, very serious very quickly. So I always tell like parents and people who haven't got their kids in academies like at 6, 7, 8, like it's not a problem. Do you know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
I joined at 12, and I know there's people that have had successful careers that have joined at 15, 16. So everybody's journey is different.
Yeah, absolutely. Mate, and at Charlton, so you were there for quite a few years, obviously in the youth team. You made your debuts. There was quite a few of you that come through the academy at Charlton around the same time,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. There was listen, it's a conveyor belt at that club. Not just my age, but there's so many. Every year they're producing players. But I think my age probably, I'd say probably about 11, 12, 13 of us went into the first team. If not went into the first team, had good careers or
Yeah.
consistent careers. It was quite a good age group that we had there.
Was he was Gomez around that age? Was he around
Yeah,
your
but
age?
Joe's probably about 2, 3 years younger than me, but we played in the same Charlton team, and he was 16, 17 maybe. So we played
Yeah, I
in the
remember he
first
was
team
young.
together. But he played in the first team for maybe about a year, and then he moved to Liverpool.
Yeah, and there was
Um,
Diego
Molo's
Poyet.
Diego was I played with Diego for a bit before he went to West Ham. Then you had
Yep.
Ademola Lookman was in our team for a bit.
Oh,
I left. I played with him for a bit in the first team, but then I left. He stayed for maybe a year or two, and then I think he left to go to Everton after
Yeah,
that.
yeah, that makes sense. Then he went abroad, didn't he?
And then he went abroad and stuff. So yeah, but there's loads. There's countless players that had good career. Carlin Grant, who is now at West Brom, was in the team. And but these are
Yeah,
Adamola, Carlin, and Joe they're all younger than me, but they all played with me, if that makes sense.
got
Because
you. So they were playing up a little bit.
you have like Esri was.
Yes.
Um, I didn't play with him in the first team, but as soon as I left, that's when he kind of went, if that makes sense. He was in the first team and then he left and went to Brentford, I believe it was. But there's loads of people my age: Morgan Fox, Joe Pigott, Adi Aziz, Shemi was in my age group, Callum Harriott.
Yeah.
There's loads. I'm probably forgetting a few.
It's a great academy, isn't it? When you talk about it there, that's a lot of players that have...
Loads. And this, like I said, it's not just players that have... some people, like Shemi, didn't play in our first team. He got released and then went off to get signed at Arsenal, and then he's had a fantastic career. So I boil it down to not just people going into the Charlton first team, but it's the way that they coached us and nurtured us that made us, solid professionals on and off the pitch. That allowed people to not just play for Charlton, but play for other teams as well. So it was like I say, when I go on podcasts and have interviews, I'm always praising the academy system of Charlton because it done a lot to me personally as a person.
And you had a great time there. You was over 100 appearances for Charlton. You won a few individual awards there. Was you 19 when you came through at Charlton?
Yeah, I was 19, probably 2-3 months off being 19, and it was quite at the start of the season. I kind of was with the first team in the pre-season. But I got my chance pretty early into the season, and then when I got it, I took it, and then that season I probably played about 40 odd games, which is crazy for a first season. So it's quite a baptism of fire. But like I said, I was young, I was fearless, and I was just kind of rolling with it, to be honest.
Do you remember your debut?
Yeah, so my debut was a bit not weird, but so I came on for 10 minutes against Oxford in, like, I think they called it the Carabao Cup, the Carling Cup. They called it back then Carabao Cup now.
Yeah.
And we were about 3-0 up against Oxford, and I came on and I won a penalty in 10 minutes. But it was literally, like I said, 10 minutes, 8 minutes, and the game was finished. But then my full debut was the following week. We played Barnsley away, and I started on the bench, and I came on at half time. We were 2-0 down at half time. I scored, and then Simon Church scored, and then we drew that game 2-2, and that was my debut.
You played, so you scored on like your full debut. That's mental.
Yeah, my full league debut, I scored, and then that was kind of it, to be fair. But
wow,
because after that, I just was either starting games or coming off the bench. I was pretty much in the first team from that moment. But I say, Chris Powell, I always big him up as well because he gave me, like I said, the confidence and the trust to give me my debut. But it was the best way I think I could have ever played because I didn't have time to think. I literally got thrown on at half time. I didn't know what was happening. He's like, Jordan, you're coming on. And then it was just like, let's go. You know what I mean? So
he's top, isn't he, Chris Powell?
Yeah, what a guy. Like I said, he's been in the game for how many years now as a player and now as a coach. I think he's just been... No, he just won a cup with Jack Wilshere at Luton. So, he's doing very well. But even the whole staff, you've got Alex Dyer that's just been promoted with Bromley. And then you've got like the team there. You've got Errol, who's the physio, who's again at Bromley. There's loads of different coaches who are great with Charlton are successful now, or they're still in the game. And like I said, this was like 13, 14 years ago, and they're still in the game now. So it's just a credit to the kind of team and people that were around the club at the time.
And when you were at Charlton, I remember you in your early years. You had a top haircut as well. Was it like the wide sort of Mohican style haircut? I remember you scored a goal. I think it was like Wigan or something like that. Was it Wigan? Do you remember it?
Yeah. I was actually showing some of my Eastleigh teammates that goal the other day. It was
Was you?
against Wigan. 'Cause
It
I
was
was
like a curler.
yeah. It was against Scott Carson. So it was like I always tease them to say I used to play left wing because obviously I play in centre midfield now,
Yeah.
and they don't believe me. So I showed them that goal, and it shows me cutting in from the left wing and scoring. So yeah, no, I tease people about that all the time to be fair because it's quite a good goal. It's probably the best goal I ever scored, to be honest. I've only
Do you
scored
reckon?
like 10 in my whole career, so no, it was a good one.
Is that because, like, I mean, we'll get onto it, but when you was at Charlton, obviously you come on the scene. You're a teenager still. Bromley, I think is it the season after Bromley? Jeez, Charlton get relegated. What
Yeah.
happens there? Like, are you being
No, so
linked with?
yeah, so what happened was is that I done 3 seasons at Charlton in the Championship,
Is it
and then in the
three?
last season we got relegated
Yeah.
to League One, and in that summer I left and went to QPR.
But between that time, whilst you was at Charlton, was there opportunities to go other places, or not?
Um, no, I wouldn't say nothing solid. There was always you're young and you're playing in the first team at such a young age, so there's always like rumours and links and paper talk and all of that kind of thing. And I was playing for England at the time as well, so
Yeah.
I wouldn't say there was nothing solid. Um, but I was
'Cause-
always quite comfortable. I was like riding the wave. I was at Charlton. I was playing every
Yeah,
game.
you get
I was in the
minutes.
championship. I wasn't too concerned about moving at the time. But when we did, unfortunately, get relegated, that was when I had to make a serious decision and think, okay, do I play in this with this club in League One, or do I feel like I can stay at this level and kick on? So that's when I am. And in that season, we got relegated. I think I signed a new contract earlier in the season, and I think that's when, in signing that new contract, was kind of a view to selling me for as much as possible at the end of that
Got
season,
you.
if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, we could get to that story about when it did come to selling me because it wasn't as easy as that. But
Yeah.
I had
Was
to go
it?
into the manager's office a few times.
Did
But
you?
yeah, but we got it done in the end.
So is that obviously? I think at that point, a Charlton in a little bit of financial difficulty. Is that?
I
Is
wouldn't
it
say
at that
financial
point?
difficulty, but that was when Charlton were going through the Roland days, and there was quite a lot of protests.
Yes. Yeah.
In
That's
the
it.
pit. Fans were kind of revolting against the ownership. I don't think we were in financial trouble, but we had loads of like Chris Powell was the manager, and they had brought in a lot of players from overseas and stuff. So there's a lot of change at the club, a lot of unrest. So and obviously that I think we had 2 or 3 managers in that season. Chris Powell had lost his job earlier in that season. We had Jose Riga and a guy called Guy Luzon, and maybe even Bob Peters at the time as well. So we had quite a few managers at the time. And then the last manager I had was Russell Slade, and that sued the manager who I had to obviously. Russell Slade was brilliant, but obviously I was only with him for, let's say, the start of pre-season before I left, and I was literally, I think I spent a week after QPR had put in a few bids going into his office and saying, please Gaffer, can I kind of leave, do you know what I mean, like they've put in 3 bids, can I leave? So but he was good, he was good as gold, do you know what I mean, he understood what I kind of wanted to do, and at the end obviously I got the move that I wanted to.
It's a short career, right? And I appreciate you probably want to play at the top. It can't be easy leaving Charlton, your boyhood club, but you want to play at the
But
top level, right?
it was a great experience because at what age was I, 20, 21, going on 22, I had to do things like go into offices and have difficult conversations with CEOs and managers to try and get what I wanted. So from a young age, I knew that, listen, you've got to have these difficult conversations if you want to get what you want. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
And I would
yeah.
say that's like the political side of football that everyone doesn't see. Do you know what I mean? It's behind closed doors and stuff. Obviously, you probably see and hear about it a lot now, but that was an eye opener to me because I thought it would just happen very smoothly, or my agent would do everything for me. But to be fair, he said to me like he can call everybody that you want or anyone that I want him to, but the message comes more powerful if it's from you.
Yeah.
So it
So,
was yeah, it was a good lesson.
but it didn't get to the point where you had to like hand in a transfer request or anything like that. There was
No, no,
negotiations
no, no,
going
no,
on, but you just need to speed it up.
Yeah, no. It wasn't. It wasn't that. I didn't actually want to play in a pre-season game, which is we always play well in at this. We always play well in the first game of pre-season, and I really didn't want to play that game. I ended up playing in it. I don't think I broke a sprint because I didn't want to get injured. So I
Don't want to
played
get
in it for
injured.
45
Yeah.
minutes. I didn't want to get injured. But after that game, I think that week, they were planning to go abroad, and I was adamant that I wasn't going on that pre-season tour. And I think maybe they were going on a Saturday, and I think by the Thursday, Friday, it was done.
Phew.
So yeah, I think you know what? Listen, it's business. The club just wanted to get as much money as they could for me. So now, in hindsight, I can see why I was doing it. But at the time, obviously, you can imagine I was very
Yeah.
stressed.
And you want to start pre-season with your new team and get to know your teammates. And
Yeah.
who was the manager at QPR when you moved there?
Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank was the manager.
Okay.
Yeah,
How long was Jimmy there then?
Jimmy was there for all of 3-4 months.
Yeah, wasn't long. No.
He wasn't there long, and then he left. And then I think I had Ian Holloway came in, I believe, after that. And
Oh,
then Steve McLaren, and
wow. Yeah.
then John Eustace took over after Steve McLaren. So yeah,
Did you enjoy your time at QPR?
yeah, it was a good time. It was a good time. Good time. Like I said, again, loads of change in manager. I think it worked for me at that moment in time because I wasn't ready to move like far away from my family in London and stuff like that. So it worked being in London. Great club, great club. Very high expectations because obviously they weren't too far from like they didn't come from. They came down from the Premier League not too long ago. Um, so expectations were high. I think they were going through a bit of a transitional period, but like I said, I enjoyed my time. I enjoyed my time there for sure.
And then you move on to Stoke. Stoke's a big club, right? It's
Yeah,
really passionate fans. What about your time there? How do you reflect on that?
yeah. Stoke was a big transitional period of my life because it was the first time that I moved away from London. I was moving to a massive club, moving out of the area of London. I
Yeah,
was
it's
there for
big.
2 years. I had familiar coach Nathan Jones signed me there, who was my under 21s coach at Charlton. So that was a big pull in me going there. And it was a massive shock. Like I said, they were similar to QPR, but I think they had come down from the Premier League a lot more recent. So, like I said, big players, big expectations. Like I said, like you said, passionate fans. But like I said, great club, great family-owned club. They done
Yeah.
everything properly from the top going down. Again, there I only had two managers there. It was Michael O'Neill and Nathan Jones, as we said. So, but like I said, it was a very transitional period of my life because, like I said, when Nathan Jones was there, he signed me. I was in the team. Then I was a bit in and out of the team when Michael O'Neill was there. A few times I tried to get out on loan, but I couldn't. So I was going through a lot of, like I said, the political part of football. But I
Yeah.
always say to people now that was the bit that molded me into the man I am today because I had to, like I said, I was on my own. I was going home. I wasn't in squads at times. I was having to sit with my own thoughts and whatever it may be. So that's when I tapped into a lot of books and done a lot of like self-help stuff that, like I said, kind of made my mind impregnable to certain situations because it was a tough time when I was
Oh,
at
no
Stoke. In
way.
parts, not the whole time, but in parts, it was tough.
So that's interesting. Let's talk about that. So a lot of footballers must go through these periods, right, where you're not getting on well with a manager, you're just not getting in the team. But you went through that, and you've taken the initiative, and you've started to sort of try and build up your positivity. Because it can't be easy, right, when you're in that situation.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's not. And I think I've just got to thank like my family, the people that I have around me, and because I can't even remember who I would have even went to even start the self-help books and stuff. Like I said, I was up there with no family at the time. It was just me most of the time. So
Yeah.
um, it was just a time of trying to do something different, like trying to learn. Do you know what I mean? I didn't have much to do. Like sometimes I was going to play on a Friday and the team were going away and I wasn't in the squad, so I had the whole weekend to myself. So if I wasn't driving down to London and stuff like that, I was up in Wilmslow in my flat and I was trying to make the best of a bad situation. So
Yeah.
yeah, it really honed in. I started buying property at that time. I started trying to start other businesses and stuff like that. So just keep my mind occupied. And by the time I left Stoke and then went to Wigan, I just felt like I was in such a different and a better mindset.
How old are you then? Are you mid
Oh
twenties?
my God, then I would have been 25, 26.
Yeah. So
From
I had
25
a.
to 29, I was in Manchester. So I was at Wigan for 2 years and Stoke for 2 years. So between 25 and 29, yeah.
Yeah, I was talking to Alex Smithies about this. So post football, Alex moved into working for a firm that basically do financial advice, financial support for athletes. But not a lot of footballers have that thought about like life after football, right? But it sounds like your time at Stoke was the time where you've gone, right, I need to start thinking about investing my money and setting yourself up for life after football. Does that sound about right?
Uh, yeah, to be fair, I played with Alex. Alex, you could always tell Alex was that kind of guy. Even when he was at QPR and he was at the height of his stuff, he was a brilliant keeper. To be fair, he was very very good. But you could always tell he was very investment driven and very savvy when it came to them kind of things.
Was
So
he?
I'm surprised that he's doing what he's doing now, and his transitional period has been very smooth. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, I've always I don't know. I've had a financial advisor myself since I was 18, 19, but I've always said, and it's probably not the best mindset to have, but my fear has always been finishing football and not having nothing to show for it.
Mm.
So every decision that I've made from when I started playing till now has always been, okay, yes, have fun, enjoy whatever, but what do I have to show for it when I finish? Is that houses that paid off? Is that investments that are coming in? Is that courses that I've gone on or degrees that I've got that I can smoothly go into? Is it people that I can contact that I've networked through football whilst
Yeah.
I've been in football? So I have that like island of people around me who I can call on, or do you know what I mean? So
Mm.
now I'm at that. I'm 32 now, so I have a clear idea of the few careers that I'm ready to transition into. So for the past 5, 6 years, whether that be doing financial advisory courses or like just even putting players and talking to players in my team in regards to like agencies and stuff and trying to build that kind of rapport with players. Yeah, like I said, I've been trying to not. I'm still obviously playing, but
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
planting seeds in regards to things that I'm doing further, or what I want to do further down the line.
And you've got to try things, right? I mean, obviously, you still are a professional athlete,
Yeah.
but if that time comes in, 5 years' time or something like that, where you decide to hang up your boots, then you've got your property, you got these things. Are you doing like qualifications and stuff already?
Yeah, I've done quite a few.
Oh
I've
wow.
done I've done I've done a few financial advisory exams which were tough because they're not specifically for footballers. They're what everybody else in the working world does, and that's like me going back to school for which I haven't done for a long period of time. So they were quite tough, and I've still got some more to do. But I've done like a few business courses. I've done football coaching courses and stuff like that. I've done a coaching and mentoring course. So I've done quite a few. Do you know what I mean? I think
Yeah.
around COVID times, I aim to do like one or two a year. Just keep like learning and seeing what I like and stuff. Whereas when I've done the coaching ones were probably the first ones that I'd done. But then a few years after I'd done the coaching ones, I realized that I'm probably not going to be a coach or go into coaching.
Yeah. It's
Because
not for everyone.
a lot of footballers probably think that they are, but when you find out the intricacies of what it takes, and to be fair, one of my old managers, Neil Harris, he said something to me as well. He said, "You'd probably be a good manager or coach, but to do this job, you have to be obsessed with it." or
Yeah.
to be successful at, you have to be obsessed with it. And I believe I probably would be good at it, but I'm honest enough with myself to say I'm probably not going to be obsessed with it in regards to that.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to put myself in that position where I'm going to want to fail. Do you know what I mean? So I know there's other things out there that I can be obsessed with, and I'll probably just steer myself towards them careers rather than being a coach.
Yeah, good for you. I say it's not for everyone, right? Just because you're a player
No,
doesn't mean that you have to be a coach.
of
There's
course, and
other opportunities.
there's so many other business things where you can kind of still be involved in football, but not in the coaching side of things, where you can be sporting
Yeah,
directors, agents, and whatever financial advisors, whatever it is, you can still be involved in it, but not
yeah.
obviously too involved.
Well, dare I say, even owners. I don't know if there is many footballers that have gone
Yeah,
on to like own smaller clubs, but
yeah, you got a few people that maybe not own outright, but people that have um, bits of equity and bits of money in clubs, which is a good thing. Is a good
yeah.
thing.
And you moved from like Championship League One into like lower league football. How are you finding that? Because obviously you played in the Championship, which now, I mean,
Yeah,
even when you were playing, but the quality in the Championship is unreal. I mean, look at Leicester; they've got some
yeah,
great
yeah,
players, and it looks like they might be going down.
yeah,
But yeah, how do you find that the quality of the football in the
yeah.
lower leagues?
The championship standard now is very, very high. And then obviously I played the majority of my career in the championship. I done what did I do? 3 or 4 years in League One, and then I dropped down to the National League, which I've done the first year now. And the biggest difference is I'd say it's just like the professionalism. Players, the higher you go, the more serious people are with their craft, being a
Yeah,
footballer. Obviously, some of that comes down to finances. You have a lot more finances to do the 1% when you're higher up. But I think again that it's a mentality thing. Um, I was literally just messaged Jake Bidwell, who I played with at QPR, who just got promoted to the Premier League of Coventry. I think this made,
yes,
and I think if I'm right, correctly saying, I think he had 2 or 3 playoff finals that he failed at, like maybe two, 3, 4, 5 years ago. One maybe at
wow.
Brentford and one maybe at Swansea where they lost.
Swansea, yeah, I was gonna say that
Yeah,
Swansea.
and he literally just got promoted with Coventry, and that's probably an example of a player who does all the 1%. He's always a 7, 8, 8.5 out of 10 every single week. Not flashy, left back, solid, great person, and someone who's made it to the top now through like maybe just being there so close a few times. And that's probably an example of someone that's, like I said, does everything right. He's
Yeah,
maximised everything that he can out of his ability, and like I said, is a great person as well. But now he's literally, as a week ago or a few days ago, has made that step and been promoted with Coventry. But like I said, you could have had someone like Jake, and if they don't have that mentality or they don't have that focus or that drive, they'd probably be playing in the National League with me. But because he's maximised everything that he's got, whether that be professionally and as a person, he's been able to take that step. And at the age of, I think he's 33, maybe a year older than me,
yeah.
he's playing. I mean, he actually said to me he's taking the scenic route, but he's actually just got the words he actually used in the reply that he
Doesn't
sent.
matter. He
But
got there.
yeah, it makes so much sense. And yeah, I'm so happy for him.
I watched an interview the other day with Lampard. He was talking about him actually. I don't know if you've seen it.
No.
It was him, and there was another player in the Coventry squad, and he was just. They didn't get a lot of games this year, but he was just saying how amazing they've been in the team achieving what they have, which is brilliant, right? You got those players that could maybe be a bit unhappy because they're not playing week in week out, but they're the ones that are actually getting the boys together after they've had a loss and picking them back up and going again. So
Yeah.
fair play to Jake.
Yeah, it's important. It's important in winning teams, and I've been in promoted teams before. The squad is important because obviously, when you're in them successful teams, more times than not, the same players are playing because you're winning games, and that's
Of
just
course, don't
what
change the team.
happens.
Yeah,
But to get promoted and to win leagues and stuff, you have to have the squad because players get
yeah,
injured. You know what I mean? Players get injured for long periods of time, and you've got to have people that are in the right frame of mind that can step in and continue to keep the team going. So yeah, I haven't seen the interview, but it makes so much sense, and I can totally understand where Frank Lampard's coming from.
Yeah, nice that he's getting his flowers. At Eastleigh, are the players are they all full time? Or
Yeah, we're all full time, all full time in every day. It's like I said, it's like a professional. It runs like a professional club. Actually, we're very, very lucky and blessed to have the setup we have there. Like everything's like ran like a professional club.
Yeah.
We go in hotels like away games, and we travel well, and we eat well. Do you know what I mean? And Kitman's there, all our stuff's washed and laid out for us. So yeah, the owner and the manager and stuff do good for the lads down there.
And you contracted till the end of the season, or you got another season?
So I have another year, so I'm contracted until the end of the 2026-2027 season.
Oh, nice. I wish you all the best. I mean, I know you stayed up this year. I'm sure you and the team are going to be pushing to go higher up the league next year. But nice to hear that you're staying on. I did want to touch on, and if I've got my research wrong, please tell me. But did you made an appearance for Jamaica, right?
Yes.
Who did you play?
We played Catalonia, which
sorry, I am right. Yeah. So when I read this, I was like, no, I think ChatGPT's trying to do me over here.
No. We did play, which I didn't listen. I'm not going to lie to you. I didn't know they were like a country or whatever. But basically, it's a part of Spain where
the Basque region.
There you go. That's it. And so players that I think they can or have played for Spain, but if you're from that region, you play for them. But yeah, that was a humbling experience. I think we lost 5 or 6-0, and we played at a nice ground, Genoa's ground. It was nice. It was a great experience, but played against some top players, some players like Marc Bartra, who at the time was playing for Barcelona, and Gerard Deulofeu and stuff like that. So it was a humbling experience. But
very humbling.
It was a pleasure. Because that's something I always wanted to do, is play for Jamaica. And it took
have you got that somewhere in the house? Like, have you got your Jamaica top or anything like that?
I've not got it in the house, but I've literally, I was actually, because summer now, and I was clearing out all my, every year when it gets to this time of year, I start clearing out my wardrobe, and some things I take to the charity shop, and some things I may sell on Vinted or whatever it may be. And I've got this drawer in my wardrobe room, and it's got all the shirts that I've got from Charlton days to QPR days. I've got some of my friends' shirts in there, and I've always said, like, I'm not going to do it whilst I'm playing, but when I finish, I'll select shirts and I'll just put them up. I'll put them up around the house or wherever, in a room in the house, but I'm not going to do it until I finish. Because I don't want to put up shirts and think, oh, that one might have been nice and things like that. No, it would be nice if all the frames are the same.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's definitely, and the Jamaica one is there. Of course, the Jamaican one will go up, and I think I might have some England ones from when I was really young as well. So yeah,
wicked,
nice.
mate.
I think that would be. I have a feeling like that would be a nice little touch when I finish to like. Because I don't think you fully appreciate what you've done in the game until it's probably finished. Like I don't.
Yeah.
People obviously come to me and say you've had a great career and stuff like that. My manager, my gaffer now, Richard Hill, says like you've had a good career, but when he says it to me, I kind of like cringe up a bit because it's like he'll play it, you know what I mean? So I can't.
Yeah.
But even in that moment when I went upstairs and I looked into that drawer the other day, like I actually thought to myself, I saw like my Stoke top, I saw my QPR top, and I saw like the championship winning Wigan one, and I was like, wow, I've actually been around a long time. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah,
their moments are nice to have.
You know, it'll be wicked. This is me just freestyling on a podcast, but if there was some sort of series where footballers all like come together and bring all their old tops and stuff and talk about all their old memories in those tops, that would be wicked. There you go.
I might take it.
Yeah, take it. So I took a screenshot here. So in that game against Catalonia, Gerard Deulofeu scored a hat-trick, Marc Bartra scored, and I took a picture of their team. So we've got Bartra, Sergi Gomez, who was at Man City. I think he's now, I think he might be in like Real Sociedad or something like that.
Yeah.
Oscar Mingueza, who is over at Celta. Alex Moreno, who was at Aston Villa at one point, Cucurella,
Yeah.
Oriol Romeu, Carlos Alenia, who was at Barcelona, Puig, who was at Barcelona, Deulofeu, and Christian Teo, who was at Barcelona. So, pretty tough team.
Tough. And you know what? It was like right in the middle of summer as well, so I was having to get myself like fit for it. So it was a poor time for a game, but like I said, it was an amazing experience. And like I said, I have the pleasure to say that I played for my country, which was nice.
Yeah. Congratulations, mate. I mean, what a great achievement that is. I'm gonna move us on into the next section, where it's called Inside the Dressing Room. So I'm just going to ask you a few questions, Jordan, just to let's see how you get on. Who was the best player you played with and why?
Best player I played with and why? You know what? I get asked this question quite a bit, but I never say one. I've got to say three.
Go on.
And I say Beret Eze, Joe Gomez, and Ademola Lookman. All them three. And don't ask me to pick between them three because I can't. But I'd say, for all different reasons, them three, not all different actually, they all had unbelievable talent, like out of this world natural talent. But what I say to people and I say to young players is they had such a grounding and a humility about them that was beyond their years at that age. And there's no surprise to me that they're all at the levels that they're at now. Like Joe's won the Premier League, I don't know how many times or whatever. Champions League he's won. Ademola Lookman's, he's gone to Everton and to different clubs, but now he's semi-final of the Champions League. And then obviously you've got Beret Eze, who is a good friend of mine, doing crazy stuff at Arsenal, do you know what I mean? So, like I said, I can't pick one, but they're the three. Like I said, for similar reasons in their personality, but obviously naturally talented footballers, they're the three that I would pick.
It's not a bad three, is it? I mean, it's all right. I'll be honest, I was buzzing for Lookman when was it Atlanta won the European Cup? Yeah. I think he might have won African Player of the Year.
Yeah,
as well that year.
Similar. Yeah. He had a purple patch.
Yeah, mate, he's top, and obviously now at Athletic, smashing it. You say you're good mates with Ebbs. Can you just have a word with him? Just tell him just stop scoring against Spurs. He just needs to chill.
But like I said, he's like, again, when it comes to Ebbs and his personality and that, he's like, and you hear it like going through the press and stuff, just how nice of a person he is. Everybody that meets him knows that he's such a genuine, kind person and can't do enough for people. Do you know what I mean? So, no, like
great selection, mate.
Good things happen to good people, and them three players, man, you can see like they're still in the peak of their powers now, but they've had fantastic careers. Do you know what I mean? So far.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. Absolutely. Who was the most underrated player that you played with?
Oh, that's a good question. That's a very good question. The most underrated player. Ooh. Underrated player. Underrated. I'm trying to think of the clubs that I played for, people that have been underrated. Who was underrated? Okay, let's go with probably Bruno Martins Indy at Stoke.
Yeah, Dutch centre half. Yeah,
he was. So I think when I joined there, he was in and out of the team for whatever reason it may have been, and he's such a great person. Like, he welcomed me with open arms. Such a funny guy, great guy. But he was very underrated because he was in and out of the team, so people probably didn't take him seriously. But he had played in, I think, a World Cup semi or final, like a few years before. So he was very, very like underrated, if that makes sense. But because people forgot what he had done, do you know what I mean? And like I said, to me, he was just. I remember him because he probably didn't get his flowers as much as he should have at Stoke. for what he'd done at Stoke in the Premier League and what he'd done previously for Holland. So, but that's probably a very good question. There's probably a few more people, but that's who came to the top of my head.
Yeah, I remember when he signed for Stoke, I thought it was a bit of a coup because he was in the Dutch team.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, geez,
he's for a lot of money. So.
Yeah, it's fair play. Who's the toughest midfielder you faced?
Toughest midfielder I've faced. Faced quite a few. Toughest midfielder I've faced. Who do I hate playing against? I don't actually know, you know. Who's very hard to play against? I don't know if I can pick a specific player, but I just hated playing against small, tricky, like number 10s. Because
in the pockets, in the shadows behind you.
Like, give me like a taller, like physical person every day over someone who's like clever and small and nippy and